I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby. Hello.
Hi.
Today we're going to focus mainly on common plecos.
Common Plecos.
And why you don't necessarily want to have them in your regular sized tank.
Yes.
But they are good pleco. They're an awesome pleco.
They are. We're going to talk a little bit about how big they get, their personalities. They can get a little territorial. But mainly our big focus today is making sure that if you've got like a small tank, you don't grab a common pleco, which are going to be the most common in fish stores.
Fish stores, they just sell them. If you don't notice to ask, 9 times out of 10, everybody grabs a pleco because they're small then. They're babies. Mm-hmm. They grow very rapidly, very large. We'll show you some footage of how large they can get.
Yeah, we've got some 5-year-olds that are over a foot long.
Yeah, you buy a 10-gallon tank and it's all cute and for the first 6 months. Mm-hmm. And then you can't fit this pleco anymore. And you have to, get rid of it. And then that's, one of the reasons, down in Florida they have a... one of the springs, Blue Springs has a overabundance of, they've taken over. There's thousands and thousands of them.
Basically what happened is, near the Blue Springs area, what happened is people were getting common plecos and they were getting too large for the tanks, so they were thinking, okay, we'll do the humane thing and just release them in the wild.
Yeah.
Well,
it's an invasive species of Florida.
Very invasive species.
They've taken over. They're trying to figure out what to do humanely without,
because
killing them.
They're basically eroding the bottom of the springs, and they're attaching themselves to the manatees. Now, Blue Springs is a manatee haven in the winter.
Yeah, and it's not the pleco's fault, but it's people's fault. But you just got to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you have a 10-gallon, a 20-gallon, common plecos are not for you.
Yeah,
even if you have a 55, maybe one common pleco.
Yeah, maybe one, but I would say at least a 75-gallon.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a 55, you can get away with one common pleco for a long time. Yeah. But even then, the poor thing's gonna, it's gonna run out of room.
Common plecos are great for ponds.
They're great for ponds. They're great for large large bodies of water. Just not for. And unfortunately, it's the most common pleco that people sell.
Which is why they're called common plecos.
Yeah. You really.
It is very sad. I mean, they are very easy to breed. Everybody has them. Most people know, hey, I need a pleco in my aquarium. They don't think what kind they need, and
and it is very important.
Right. So for smaller aquariums, you want a smaller species, like the bristlenose plecos are our favorite.
Right.
We always keep looking for bristlenose.
They're very hardy. Yeah.
Very hardy, and once
they don't get. And then, But anyway, they don't get as large. They don't get nearly as large.
Yeah, they get about 5 inches, maybe 6 tops.
Yeah.
And then, we keep the rhino croc plecos, which get about 8 or 9 inches, which is still large for pleco. I wouldn't put those in like a 20-gallon, but they do fine in 55s, 40s. But the common plecos, we have several, but the 4 that are our favorites, we keep in our indoor pond, and we'll be showing you those, and they are huge.
And they have personality. And Shiva named them.
Yes. All of
they
our
are named after vacuum cleaner.
Yes, we have Hoover, Dyson, Kirby, and Dirt Devil.
Yes.
And those 4 have been with me for 5 years, and they live in our koi pond. And I never thought that plecos had personality. I really didn't.
I didn't either, but yours do.
Yeah,
they want to be. They come up. They want to be petted. They eat the flakes. They flip upside down. They want attention. Oh, they're hysterical.
I know. And normally when you have plecos, they're usually hiding, or they hang out at the bottom and want to.
Plecos normally don't have anything to do with people except for Shivas.
Yeah.
They're broken. But it's kind of scary though when you're in there, you've got your hand in there, and a pleco comes up and rubs against you. Little bit disconcerting.
It is funny, but they did pick up the habits of the koi. They started seeing what the koi were doing, and they were kind of aping that.
Yeah.
Now, why they go upside down? There's actually a reason for that. Why they eat the flakes upside down? It's because it's an indoor pond. We don't have an algae problem.
Right.
Plecos are algae eaters. So if they can't find algae, around in the pond, they're going to get the flakes.
Because the flakes have algae in them.
Because the flakes have algae in them, or at least I get the kind that have algae in them.
So they learned how to flip up and eat the flakes.
Yeah, so they'll be, as soon as they see us in the mornings.
We'll show you some footage of that. It's adorable.
Yeah, as soon as they see us, they immediately go, "Oh, dinner!" and they flip upside down.
They all flip upside down.
Ready.
Whether there's flakes or not, they're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ready.
Yeah.
It took the smallest one.
Yeah, it took Dirt Devil.
It took Dirt Devil a little while because she I don't even know. Couldn't figure it out why the others were all doing it, and it took her a hot minute to figure it out. But once she did, now they're all doing it.
Yeah, now they're all doing it. It's so funny. But again, common plecos. We have noticed personalities with other plecos as well, like with the Roomba, who's a Rhino Croc. Sweet thing.
Different episode.
Right. Now,
she gets her own episode, let me tell you. But anyway.
Yeah, another thing about common plecos is that they can get territorial.
Yeah.
So we've got the 4 in the koi pond, but we can't add any others because if we do, there is a likelihood that those 4 that were brought up together would be like, "Hey, this is our pond," and they'll bully a new one.
Because you have 2 others outside, right?
I've got 2 others.
2 others outside, and we can't
more.
take a chance to put them in the tank.
Yeah, whenever we have to drain the patio pond, we have to take those 2 plecos out and put them in an aquarium for however long. We can't put them in the pond.
Just in case, because she doesn't want to take a chance because they are territorial, and they'll fight the 4, and the 4 will fight them, and the 4 will probably win because there's 4 of them.
And they're bigger.
And they're a little bit bigger, yeah.
They're they're a lot bigger.
Yeah.
The ones that are outside are about maybe 8 inches. The ones that are inside are over a foot.
Over a foot, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll show you some footage of them.
That would be a Sharks versus Jets thing, and it's not looking good for the Jets.
And like I said, these 4 have been raised together, so they are very, they're fine with each other, but she's not 100% sure you can put the others in there with them ever.
Now, another thing about common plecos is that you do have to watch temperature. We can get away with having some in our outdoor pond simply because we're in Florida. We don't have those really frozen winters, but the common plecos do not do well in really cold temperatures. So if you have any in your ponds or whatnot, you are going to have to find a house for them during your snow months. Whether it's a large aquarium or even like a kiddie pool or something in your garage, common plecos don't do well in really, really cold temperatures. Here in Florida, they do fine.
Okay, that's because it doesn't really get cold here.
Yeah,
it does somewhat. But
here in Florida, it doesn't get cold enough for them, which is why Blue Springs has a problem. If it got cold, Blue Springs wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and Blue Springs is, during the winter months, Blue Springs is where the manatee go, and so there's an issue.
Yeah.
But, again, and hey, if you have any comments or questions about that or common plecos, we'd be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, we're actually
by all
very
means,
familiar
comments
with the species.
below. Like, subscribe to our page. We have the Patreon page. If you want to really like us and you really want to help us out, we need some cool stuff to help us go on our adventures. One of the things is going to be Blue Springs. We're going to try to get them on camera.
Yeah, we are planning a trip to Blue Springs. Yeah. We want to see if we can
get
actually catch
common plecos. That'll be a fish bite, hopefully.
Yeah, or it might actually be a whole episode.
Yeah,
if we can manage to find the school. I mean, I know that there's footage out there on YouTube. If you look up Blue Springs plecos, and you'll see some footage that.
Yeah, but we want to do it ourselves just because.
Right.
Just because we want to see what else is out there too. So.
Right, so we are planning a trip to Blue Springs probably in the winter when the manatees are there.
Yeah.
So we would love some wetsuits.
Woohoo! Patreon, help us.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, comments, please subscribe, like, comment. We love questions, even if it isn't about common plecos. Although this was the episode about common plecos.
Right. Yeah, but pretty much any one of our videos, if you have any questions, just leave a comment. We actually do read and answer them. Might not be immediately, but we do eventually catch them.
And if we don't know the answer, we'll find out for you.
Yes, we will.
We know a lot of people. We know we belong to a lot of fish groups, so.
Yeah, a lot of fish groups we know, and then we also have like our local aquarist store where we get a lot of our supplies, and we do a lot of trading with them.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who are really lifesavers for us sometimes when it's something we don't know how to handle.
Yeah.
We give them a call and they'll tell us. So.
Yeah. But we will show you some common plecos and some sizes so you can see. And hope you enjoy.
Yeah, and just remember, don't put common plecos in aquariums.
Common plecos, no.
Go with.
So unless you have a pond, common plecos are bad.
Right.
Okay. Any other kind of pleco, make sure to check the size. Anything over 8 inches?
Yeah, anything over 8 inches, you really don't want to in a small aquarium.
Yeah. So. But you have a nice day.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.